Hi lovely and darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy. This time I'm reviewing My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. I listened to the audiobook for this, which is narrated by Fiona Hardingham. So this is a British contemporary chick lit novel or romance. It follows Katie Brenna, who has moved to London. She's at her starter job, got the first apartment. And Katie keeps measuring her life up to the standards of Instagram and magazine pictures and feeling like her life is falling short and isn't quite perfect yet. And so she has all these goals that she wants to achieve and things she wants to get, like the perfect house, the perfect job, the perfect boyfriend, and none of it seems to be working out for her. This is particularly bad when she sees her boss Demeter as having everything that she possibly wants and it's attainable. Just Katie doesn't seem to be making any traction in that direction. So whenever she calls home to her parents or whenever she posts a picture on Instagram, it's always the best possible version. It's a bit it's this idealized version. It's this picturesque part of London. It's not, her apartment in London where she's sharing with two other roommates and her one roommate just has boxes and boxes of protein drink way in their hallway, or the fact that she doesn't have a closet and uses a hammock instead of a dresser, or the fact that she's got an hour and a half commute each direction on a very crowded London tube to get to work. So she's trying to create this aesthetic and also dealing with the fact that even the job she has, it's in the right field but isn't what she wants to do. She's got this entry-level position as a research assistant for a marketing firm. So she wants to do the advertising. She wants to be the one putting the campaign together and doing the designs, and instead she's doing demographic stuff on what they're selling to, and it's boring, not what she really wants to do, and her boss never seems to have time to look over her work. So she doesn't think she's ever going to be able to move up either. Her boss, Demeter, is also a bit of a prick. She's incredibly rude and a pain in the butt to all of her employees. Very diva-ish, very condescending to them. So Katie has this complicated relationship where she admires Demeter, but also doesn't actually enjoy working for her. Nobody else really enjoys their work environment either. So that's fun. I thought it was funny reading it as the book, but if I were Katie actually living it, I would probably hate it a lot. So there are two kickoff events in this book. The first is when she meets Alex, who also works at their company, and he asks for her opinion on these toys that they're trying to market towards adults. And so they go up on the roof and they just play with these toys, and it's charming and adorable, and he's flirting with her, and he's absolutely gorgeous, and she's totally got a crush on him. And when she goes back to her desk and starts figuring out who Alex is and where he fits in the company, he's actually one of the big bosses. He's the son of one of the founders of the company, definitely a management position, and Katie is a bit mortified that she's been flirting with her boss, but also he's so appealing that she wants to go along with it anyway. And it, probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, except she's hearing rumors that Alex is very flighty. He doesn't commit to anyone or anything. He doesn't even stay in the same city for very long. He's constantly on business trips, constantly volunteering to go to other cities. He never has a serious long-term relationship. So Katie's trying to figure out what she wants, whether or not she wants to hang out more with Alex or not. And then the other kind of major event that happens in there is that she gets fired from her job. They need to get rid of somebody, and Katie's the last person to get hired, so she gets fired. And she ends up going home to this farm in Somerset where her dad and stepmother work. And they are trying to set up a glamping site. So this is glamorous camping for the rich and well-to-do. They are trying to bring in rich Londoners to come have their vacations in tents with actual beds, but also have this rural, picturesque, pastoral experience. Getting to go hang out with fluffy sheep but not having to clean up after them, or getting to do basket weaving or pottery and stuff, and just say that they were out in the country and back in the fresh air. But also they've got Wi-Fi at the camp, so, not exactly roughing it. but they want to give this very rustic aesthetic to it. And so Katie helps because she's been doing all this research on what Londoners want, what that demographic wants. She puts together the ad campaign for the glamping site, and it starts kicking off and doing pretty well. And it seems awesome, except it's not really what Katie wants to do. She still wants to go back to London. She wants to work at an actual marketing facility. She wants to work on other campaigns. And also the fact that she never actually tells her dad or stepmother that she's been fired. So she comes back, and I think her stepmother suggests that maybe she was on sabbatical, like one of their guests. And she's like, yes, I am on sabbatical for 6 months from my advertising job. I am really important there. So I'm only going to be here for a little bit. And so every time she has to step away to take phone calls about job interviews or like sending emails late at night, they assume that she's like doing work rather than trying to find another job. So she can't exactly tell them that she got fired. So she never, tells them that she got fired because she's trying to hold up this perfect aesthetic of her London life. But when Demeter takes her family vacation at the glamping site, things start getting out of control. There's a chance that Katie could be, discovered. Her family could find out that she's been lying. She's got to deal with the boss and trying to be nice to her, even though this is the lady that fired her. It's definitely got some interesting parts to this book. So this book had lots of really charming, interesting moments to it. A lot of really funny things happen. Really ridiculous scenarios. Some really romantic dates with Alex that I ate up. Katie's struggles are very believable in her social media age. Like, yeah, she's a bit vain. Yeah, she's lying to people. But, like, who doesn't present, like, the idealized version of everything? Who doesn't take a picture in, like, the one corner of their house that they've actually cleaned? Like, I am filming against a table and a couch because none of my bookcases are actually clean right now. Like, who doesn't present that aesthetic of, like, I've got it all together and everything is perfect? Who wants to post on social media that I got fired today? So I get what Katie's doing, and it definitely explores our modern social media age where everybody's connected. I also really enjoyed when Demeter shows up and we get to find out more about Demeter's life. Without spoiling this book too much, but I mean, Katie's got this picture-perfect version of Demeter's life in her head, and her actual life doesn't exactly live up to that. So I enjoyed being able to see like the real Demeter and their relationship together. Also really liked getting to see Alex. He is just adorable and gorgeous and perfect. So many great parts to this book. So I do recommend My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. A great summer read. It's also got a scene in it that happens at Christmas with like a Christmas fair. So kind of a wintry feel to it also. But most of it, I think, like the camping thing definitely reminds me of summer. But obviously, whatever is good too. I'm going to stop talking now. Let me know in the comments below if you have read My Not So Perfect Life. Do you have any other recommendations for me? Either books by Sophie Kinsella would be good, or are there any other like summer books? What do you guys enjoy reading? Any other chick lit that's amazing? Yeah. So, peace out. I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye.